Court order and declare that we have a quorum. I'm going to ask Ms. Gentho to please lead us in the word of prayer.
Father, I just want to thank you, dear Lord, for this day. Just thank you for the moisture you're sending our way, dear Lord. And I thank you, dear Lord, for this court. I thank you for our country. I just pray, dear Lord, that your will be done, dear Lord, protecting, God, all of those who are on foreign soil and on our soul, dear Lord. You don't see the difference in it. I pray, dear Lord, for this meeting. I pray that your blessings will be upon it and the wisdom for those decisions that need to be made will be had. Now bless each commissioner, continue to protect them, dear Lord. And I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please, I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
With the court's permission, I'd like to skip down to 4 and get Sheriff Wager taken care of so we can get him in and out. If that's all right with everybody. Yeah. Sheriff?
Thank you. Guys, we have Ms. Bosacker here, David's wife, and she would like to present to the court, please.
I'm sorry. David loved it here. He loved everybody in this county. He said he'd never found such a wonderful group of people to work with and that pulled together. And one thing is, he's like, I was a billionaire. I would go in and buy everything that the sheriff's departments and police departments needed. And so what I decided to do when he died was to set up a David Bosacker Memorial Fund. And so I went the other day, and so far I have $20,000 here that I'm going to donate in David's name in his memorial fund for the sheriff's department to buy those special radios, equipment that they need, that if they're out in the country or whatever. And I would greatly appreciate it if y'all would accept this for that in David's name.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'd entertain a motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Raines, seconded by Mr. Maxwell to accept the donation from Ms. Bosacker to be used as in the memorial and for her husband. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The judge also votes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bosacker.
Thank y'all all so much.
And go. We'll be thinking about you.
I know you will. And everybody has said that we're behind you through all of this.
Yes.
And I really appreciate it.
Well, you're part of the family.
I know he loved it here so much.
Well,
So thank you all.
It was great.
And the more money we get, I'm going to continue to help. Okay.
anything we can do to help you, just let us know as well.
Thank you, Judge.
I know the sheriff's done a superb job, really, keeping up with you and stuff, but he's got the entire county behind him, so
I appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank you all
ma'am.
so much, and God bless all of you.
God bless you, man.
I've got a couple more things.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see, where else you at, Sheriff?
There's nothing for the 911 update.
Audit, Chapter 59 audit.
I would like permission for the court to allow Loretta to audit the audit.
It needs to be to ask me.
I'll make a motion. We ask the auditor's office to audit Chapter 59.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's crazy because that has to be done anyway. But anyway.
Anyway, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay. We have asked the auditor instead of requested the auditor.
Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah. H, discuss and consider taking action on entering into contract with AT&T for fiber internet services.
So one thing that we've found out recently, you know, when I first came over there, I thought we had a 50 by 50 fiber. It turns out we have a 20 by 20 fiber, and we've been going through all the Motorola camera swap outs and all that stuff. And as soon as we start uploading, it knocks out the phones, it knocks out everything else because there's just absolutely not enough bandwidth.
Come over to my office and upload a while.
Yeah. Well, literally, we have found out that our cell phones have more download and upload from our cell phones than we have at the sheriff's office running the entire thing. So I've reached out to AT&T. Our contract started in 2020. It was a 2-year contract, so it's up. We should be good on that. I've asked for a new contract. Unfortunately, I don't have the contract to present to y'all today. It should be any day now. But what they said was we're currently paying $603.70 for a 20 by 20, and for 100 by 100 would be $637.80, which is a difference of $34.10 a month. And we're just at the point where everything we have runs off that stuff. We really need to increase our speeds, and I'm going to ask that y'all would consider and allow, when that contract comes in, if you would allow the county judge to sign it so that we can up our speeds considerably.
Are you asking or requesting?
Both. Whatever it takes to make it sure.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Maxwell, second by Mr. Raines. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I think, Sheriff, that's,
Thank you very much.
you bet.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Post Secretary. It's good seeing you
It's
again.
good to see you all too. Thank you so much.
Come back up and see us.
I will.
Judge, when you
Thank you.
sign that contract, will you be sure I get a copy?
Are you asking or requesting?
I'm both.
And I am asking both too. Please.
You offered to cook something the other day.
I did, and they threw me out on the road.
Well, I'm not throwing you out.
Oh.
Loretta hadn't offered to cook anything, so you get your son.
Okay.
What do you want me to cook, Judge?
All right, we're going to jump back to the consent agenda. Thank y'all for letting me do that. So we get Jason and Ms. Bosecker.
So, Judge, I have the regular minutes of 10/10 of 23. There is a personnel report. There are several certification of additional revenue. There are budget adjustments. I don't see an investment report.
There's not one.
Okay. And then I have the Auditor Treasurer's financial report that covers. Bear with me. October the 23rd, 2023. Sorry, October the 22nd, 2023. And then the Department of Financial Reports, I have the Tax Office, DMV, which covers October 2nd to the 8th and 9th to the 15th. I also have the Tax Collector's Vote. And then that covers August and September. And then I have the bills, claims, and accounts. And then I have no purchasing acknowledgments, no open meetings, Public Information Act or cybersecurity. And then the contracts for the dispatch, I have Rising Star and Ranger. And for the emergency medical, I have Ranger, EMS Ranger. For the fire departments, I have Carbon, Cisco, Olden, Ranger, and Gorman. That's all I have.
Carbon?
Excuse me?
Carbon?
Uh-huh. On the fire?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Anything else? So,
If I could just go through real quickly. The certifications of additional revenue are all still for fiscal year 2023. The report of financial condition is as of October 22nd, and that's just our regular meeting report showing where we are this fiscal year. And you should have 10 sets of payables for today.
yeah. You have the payables for us to sign?
I do have all of it.
Okay. Need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Maxwell, second by Mr. Raines. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you, man.
While we're signing her name and not having to do anything that's too complicated, I want to welcome Ginger Cox that's taken Shelby's spot, and she has hit the ground running.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I'd run too. I'd try to get as far away from him as I could.
Well, that's why I changed her to her desk so she can't get out. Shelby hasn't managed to run her off yet, so.
Is that how you used to talk about, right?
What's that?
Shit.
Running off?
Yeah. Well, I just talking about
She's got a window she can climb out of.
Yeah.
Long ways down. She's looked at it before.
They don't open.
Y'all tried already, huh?
That was not after the foot last time.
Yeah. It was. Hung up one day.
She was running.
Trying to jump out the window.
I've instructed my staff that if we have that kind of deal, they need to go out first. That way they can cushion my fall.
This is just for you, Judge. Cushion your fall. They'll probably throw you out first to cushion their fall. Righty?
That would make more sense. Well, I can't blame that crappy pin on the county. That was a city pin. I left with. The auditor's office keeps all the good pins hidden, so.
You watching something? Tom called Jerry yet?
Yeah. I just getting to it.
Yes. That's probably more.
Thank you.
Patrick, you can see your road. Yeah.
Probably.
No, that was old. Kind of like Cowboys.
That's what that's for.
I bought me a Cowboy shirt Saturday.
Every day
They were on
is
clearance.
Free.
Yeah,
Take
next day. Okay, I don't get to work this weekend. This may be
Kinda
the only
concerned
this
about
weekend
when
is
it starts
Super Bowl
getting
weekend.
wet.
Maybe the only two weekends they don't win.
I hope not.
Is he gonna be able to forecast the weather?
It's gonna snow.
Snow.
Can't move.
We're good, Judge, if you want to go.
Okay.
Kathy's just waiting on Ronnie, and Lord knows we haven't got that much time.
We're gonna move to item 4. The burn ban has been on. We took it off briefly, put it back on and stuff. And I think we ought to leave it on because we don't have enough rain to. There you go. C, discuss and consider approving Kay Schaefer, the Child Welfare Board. Roberta Broussard.
I'd like to present Kay Schaefer as a new member of our Child Welfare Board, and she is here for your consideration to go onto our board. And then I have brought some information that was requested about our finances for the Child Welfare Board.
We probably don't want to make that part of the record.
Okay. So look at it.
Well, you can look at it. It's just general overview, Judge.
What?
Just overview. Do you want this?
Okay.
Okay. Is this yours? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I need a motion to accept Kay Schaefer, the Child Welfare Board. Motion by Mr. Maxwell, second by Mr. Raines. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Welcome aboard, Ms. Schaefer. Thank you very much for your willingness to serve. Was there something I need to sign or? No?
I don't have anything, Judge.
Okay. Well, we're sorry. If you find something I need to sign, bring it back here and we'll be happy to sign it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. You guys have a good day.
It's nice meeting you. It's nice meeting all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we have one more thing. Discuss and consider adoption of a resolution authorizing the Eastland County Child Welfare Board to seek an IRS 501c3 tax exemption.
It's okay. I'll send it. I'll send it to them.
Okay.
And I thought Brad was going to be here, but what happened in Family Code 264.005, it sets up that the Commissioners Court will appoint the members of the Child Welfare Board. It also establishes that the Child Welfare Board is an entity of the state, basically, for what they do. It does not set up anything for financial. And the Child Welfare Board is using the county tax ID for their bank account, for their tax exempt status. Well, when we do the audit every year, the auditors want all of the accounts in the county tax ID, which includes the Child Welfare Board. But the way it is right now, I should have the Child Welfare Board's books in the general ledger, and Christina should have control of the account. They don't want to do that, nor do we really want to do that. So the option is to allow the Child Welfare Board to set up as a 501c3 organization under IRS. So that's what this is all about. And an attorney, actually, Sandy Cagle got with an attorney who developed this resolution. It's gone back and forth. Brad Stevenson has been working with them, and this was the end result.
I certainly don't see a problem with that. Motion by Mr. Raines. Second by Mr. Maxwell. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
And I have 3 copies. Would you sign all of this? One of those is for you.
You need a copy of it.
And the financial information is part of the agreement that they'll provide financial information.
Is that quarterly or just annual? like to stump you periodically. Just makes me feel better. I think it's quarterly.
Quarterly.
E, discussing consider allowing the Veteran Service Officer to host a Veterans Day program at the courthouse on November 9th from 11 to 1 p.m. Mr. Zarate.
Do I stand back here or do I pull up there?
Have you showered today?
Yes.
Okay, you can come up.
I hope I do.
Hey, thanks for hosting me this morning. As you know, I'm pretty excited about my job, and Veterans Day is coming up on the 11th, and I know we're closed on the 10th. So what I'm requesting from the commissioners is I want to do a Veterans Day celebration on the 9th, and what I want to do is, if all possible, the weather's the weather's permitted, I'd like to set up a tent out here with flags and veterans. And what I like to do is serve hot dogs, chips, and drinks in honor of Veterans Day. Also,
It's on the courthouse lawn.
it's on the court.
Street.
It won't be on the street. It'll be right up here as you enter it. Now, I won't have the barbecue grill right there. I'll have it over there where the benches are. That way, there's no harm to any kids coming up or trying to touch it. We'll be away from that. It's all free. Now, there will be a donation jar there. If you want to donate to the Veterans Program, what I'll do with those monetary donations is I'll take them to Treasury, and I like to donate all the monies, whatever I get, to the Texas Lions Camp of Eastland, Texas, to send a disabled child to Kerrville for their camp. They're having problems with that. That's I think it's a great program to donate all the money back to, and that's I've already talked to Ken Chapman about it, and he's all excited about it if this goes through. Also, at the same time, I'm bringing back the Buddy Poppy program. It's been dead for the longest time that I've known. I've never seen the VFW, American Legion, or anybody do anything with Buddy Poppies, and that's a big thing for veterans.
I've forgotten about that.
Yes, everybody forgets about that program, and it's you need to really look it up on what a Buddy Poppy is. It's a remarkable story. But I'd like to revive that program again, and if I'm able to, I'll do that at the same time I'm doing the Veterans Program. I'll have a donation jar there with Buddy Poppies. They for every Buddy Poppy they get, it's $1 donation. I just think it's a great program to bring back. So,
What was that camp's name?
it's Texas Lions Camp International, and it's in Kerrville, Texas. We try to send at least 2 or 3 kids, and this last year I think we only got to send 2. So the more money they get, it helps out for the child. But like I say, weather's permitting. If I can do that, and this is for I'll put it in the paper, put it on social media, have it out here in the courthouse, feed the courthouse, feed anybody who wants to come. Fresh hot dogs, chips, and all that.
Of course, after you and I talked, I realized that was also the day of the lawman's luncheon, so
Yeah, that's.
I won't be there, and neither will the sheriff. But it sounds like a good program.
Who is paying for the food?
I'm paying for the food
Personally?
personally.
Okay.
No. There is. My son Joey works at Brookshire's, and I was talking to him about it to bring his people. And he goes, "Well, how can we help you?" So what if they donate or give me a gift card? Cisco's Brookshire at the same time said they might want to help out with that because they're tied into the veterans program, Walk for Veterans. They're tied into that program. So, I'm not asking, if they want to donate a $50 gift card or a $100 gift card, whatever they want to donate, I'm going to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
But, hot dogs ain't that much.
Yeah. Well, just be sure, because this is a county function, that all donations, whether it's a gift card, food, whatever it is, comes through Commissioner's Court
Right,
that you listed.
right.
Okay.
So before the program, if I get that $50 gift cards or if I get any kind of donations from somebody, I'm not going to ask for them. If they want to give them do I bring them to you to get them signed in before I spend them? Or
Actually, if you will just list everything, because the gift card is not going to be deposited in the
Right.
treasury. So
There's a form, Ruben.
Mhm.
There's a little short form that you can just list everything on.
Okay, okay. But the all
I don't know.
You don't have, do you have?
I think it would be on
All
that.
I've got is the road materials donation form. I'll have to look at it. It might could be, but I know we've got a form for road materials donation.
I think so.
Anyway, work with Shelby on that.
I will.
We'll get
I will.
Get you taken care of.
But all the
Make sure all the i's are dotted and t's are
I
crossed.
will. No, like I say, all the monies, whether it's $200, $400, $500, whatever I get, I'll make sure I get it and bring it straight to the treasury, or do I bring it to you?
The money goes to Christina.
Okay, to Christina. I'll make sure after we get everything said and done, I'll bring it all up here and see how much we got. Let her count it, and
She'll receipt you.
yeah, and then make it out to to Eastland County Lions Club.
Even the Buddy Poppy money.
Even the Buddy Poppy money.
Okay.
Yes, everything I get is going to go to the Lions camp to send a kid to camp or 2 kids to camp. Yeah, I'd want. So that's my spill to you guys. I think it's going to be a great program.
Well,
hopefully I can make it happen.
Well, and like I said, we just had that conflict on the night, so.
Yeah, I'd like to go to Myrtle Wilkes and get a steak and stuff too.
Well,
I mean,
I've got to work for mine. I've got to work for mine because I got to MC it. So,
but I
don't have to MC it. They asked me to. So.
But I'll get invitations and give each department an invitation to it. So
Okay.
I hope y'all can come and get a hot dog and stuff.
Any questions for Ruben?
I'll make the motion, Judge.
Motion by Mr. Raines, second by Mr. Maxwell. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion
I'll
carries.
start getting
Thank you
busy
for
doing
doing
this.
that, Ruben.
All right.
Yeah.
I bet. Thank you guys very much
Remember
for
the
support.
paperwork.
Yeah, whenever I get out.
Well, just Shelby look for something or nothing else. Maybe we can come up with something. I mean, it can't be that complicated.
I have the road material donation form on the front. On my.
If it'll be just if anything, Brookshire's be the only one that'll be on there. Brookshire's donate $50, whatever they give me.
I don't mind helping Robert change the form up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And whatever you do personally is a donation. So you'll need to put a monetary
Listed
value on it.
also.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
We'll do.
All right.
Thank y'all very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, buddy. I say just leave the road material on there, just cross it out, put hot dog.
Yeah. I honestly don't remember where I got that form. It come from over here somewhere, but we've used it several
I
times.
think it's on that computer.
Okay, I, discuss and consider approving resolution for the grant administration submission of grant applications to the U.S. Forest Service for the Community Wildfire Defense Grant Program through the U.S. Department of Agriculture for the CWDG projects and the Community Wildfire Protection Plan. Good God. That is a mouthful. And I'll also go and just as a matter of time constraint, discussing, and also Jay, discussing, considering approving this. Well, now let's just do that separate because may have some discussion on that.
Yeah, we're going to have discussion on that. I think the first one is just saying that we had one RFP return with Langford
For the grant
for the grant
administrator.
administrator. And that was
And it was scored this
it
morning.
was scored this morning. They got a high score considering they're the only ones that's returned anything. I'll make a motion that we.
Motion by Mr. Raines to discuss and consider approving resolution. Mr. Maxwell seconded. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Jay, oops.
Get your copy, Sean.
Junior, whoever.
Copy, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Jay, discuss and consider approving the list of equipment, supplies, and services to include on the application of Community Wildfire Defense Grant Program through USDA.
Okay, this is, we have to have all this done and it has to be submitted by the end, probably by the end of this week. It has to be done absolutely by Monday of next week. We've got everything written in the grant, except for the equipment list. These are the what we need to talk about. The hiring the wildfire manager and a wildfire specialist is non-negotiable. If you do not do that, you will not get the grant. Doing the private property clearing is also non-negotiable. If you do not commit to do that, you will not get the grant.
Who are the two that we have to hire?
The manager and the specialist, the risk control specialist.
Okay.
What if there ain't none out there?
What's that?
What's his name, dog?
Then you
What?
get to be.
Yep.
I was wanting to point you, Sheriff.
Is that
I don't know. I didn't.
That's gonna be the problem. If there ain't nobody out there, how you
Well,
gonna
you're
hire?
fixing to be flood the market because there's going to be a lot of counties doing this. Won't
That's what I'm
So
saying.
for private
When you
use,
flood it, you
so
don't want
for
nobody.
private
There's a
use, can that be
requirement for being.
contracted?
No, you can't. If you contract it, they're probably not going to do this.
So what
So we would
defines
have to
it?
do it? for
We would
private
have to
use?
do it.
Can we do that?
Yeah,
yes?
Oh.
Can
we
do
asked
that?
that question and they said federal law says that we can't.
Counties can do it,
Yeah.
can serve
Well,
those.
we'd have to get a right of
contract.
entry
Yeah,
to that property.
that's
In
what
other words,
that's what the
that-
specialist does.
No, can you serve as a specialist? The county. The county cannot serve as a manager and a specialist.
No, well, those are two new positions.
Yeah,
Grant
What are the
funded.
requirements to be those two positions? Does it have a list
There-
of?
There is a training requirement to be certified, and they'll pay for that.
Okay.
so here's my question on that. Is that something, and I know I'm fixing to open up a can of worms here, is that something that we could get our a fire chief, local fire chief to,
It's a full-time position,
okay, well, that takes care of that, then.
and so is the specialist, because they have to do. They both have to do educational aspects of this,
And they'll be paid out of the grant.
and they will be paid out of the grant.
Can we contract these?
I don't know. I didn't ask that question in the letter because he's figuring them as a full-time employee based on department head pay and foreman pay for road ends. That's what he based his salaries on. The other thing is after if we do all this and we're in the process of hiring stuff and we get the equipment, we can go ahead and start cleaning. But after the specialist is hired and comes on board, their number one function is going to be to go out and survey our county roads as right of ways and tell us what we have to do on the county roads and right of ways.
Which is
Fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's step one of this grant process is to prioritize those county road right of ways because those are natural fire breaks. So
That all being said, I mean, we can work through this. It's not a big deal. The equipment must be used. You have to maintain the paperwork on the equipment and all that. See, I think we've all had this conversation about the 5-year deal. This is a 5-year grant. They're going to help, Langford is going to help administrate the grant for the 5 years. After the 5 years, the paperwork is going to fall back on us for the turning it in. That means the hours and everything. Because we've all had the conversation how old a tractor or a piece of equipment has to be before it's less than $5,000 value, and it's got to be pretty old in there. So we'll have to do that up until that point. This is the other thing is when we originally initiated all of this, although the cap was 10, realistically they said 3 to 5. With the equipment that we're turning in now and the 2 positions, it's almost 6. He does not anticipate that we'll be reimbursed for our labor. If they approve all the equipment, we will not be reimbursed for any of our labor costs on it. So that's something to consider on all this, just because of the amount. Now, we turning in everything, which will be close to $10 million, but keep in mind that they're going to trim that way back when they get to that point on it.
Are we going to do like FEMA where everybody does their worksheets?
We'll have to come up with a process and a policy, because if the specialist goes out and says County Road 1000 needs this 100 feet cleaned immediately, we've got to have a policy in place that says how long you've got to go out there and clean that. It can't be inevitable. In other words, you just can't say okay and never go do it. We've got, and when they do the critical infrastructure, they go out and look at a water treatment plant. They gain the private property access around the water treatment facility to clear a fire break around it for 100 feet. We got to have the policy in place that says, well, we're going to have this done within the next 3 weeks or the next month or whatever it is after they have that in place.
Well, at the risk of two of the ladies in this courtroom shooting me, we probably need to have a central reporting
Yes.
deal, which that way we can keep up with, instead of four of y'all trying to keep up with it, y'all would send in your reports.
Yes.
We would then forward those to whoever needed those.
And just like Shelby and I talked earlier on the equipment list, I'm going to put it all together. I've got everything, but Andy's already on everything now to send to Langford. I told Shelby, I said, I'm going to email it to you and you send it on. And everything that they send back needs to come to her and then outward from us
Yeah.
on that kind of stuff.
She's going to be the point of contact.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I already, yeah. It was, but yeah, that way.
Kathy will cook you something. Though.
Yeah. That way everything's coming in and going to her.
No, I think
And that way you have a hard copy of it here if somebody wants to look at stuff.
And if you can, on your time, we'll help you with your time as well.
Well,
After 5 years.
honestly, well, he don't care. I mean,
Well, you might.
no,
5 years.
no, he don't care. The report's going to be fairly simple, I would assume, but they will have to have a reporting, and after the 5 years, it won't go to Langford and them again. It'll go to the U.S. Forest Service,
Yeah.
who is where the grant's coming out of.
Yeah,
But
I still say, we start working on private land, all our time is gonna go to that private land, if that administrator that's doing this.
well, it's not private land. There's got to be a purpose. In other words, you can't just go clear something for somebody. It's got to have the critical infrastructure involved. In other words, it's got to have a water treatment plant around it. It's got to have an electrical substation around it. It's got to have. We're just not going to clear private property.
They have a criteria.
It's going to have a criteria
No, you
involved.
can't. You can't
Now, I will say
pasture for
this.
somebody.
Part of the criteria is if we want to expand the county road clearance zone. In other words, we've got 30 foot, but we want to go 30 foot inside of a fence on either side or on both sides to make it a larger fire break. That's permissible out there.
Well, and I'll give you a good example. Like when we talked about this, Seabird Elementary over here, there's a lot of brush behind that school, and during that phone call, we had identified that deal, and they said, "Oh yeah, that'll be fine." So we'd have to go to that landowner and say, "We need a right of entry, and we're going to come in and we're going to cut a fire break there."
Yeah.
But we're cutting a fire break. We're not turning that wooded, brushy area into a pasture for you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what people have to understand is that, yeah, you're going to get your fence line or whatever. You're going to get that break, but it's not a complete deal. So that's a whole lot easier to manage than trying to clear off 100 acres.
Yeah, it won't be clearing. It'll have to have a purpose. And for like Darwin and I, one of the perfect examples for us over there is the college in the old ag farm. Because that's 10 acres or 20 acres sitting right there growed up by the baseball field and the athletic dorm that the college owns now, that will be more than happy to sign anything to let us go in there and clean that up.
Yep.
Here's the other side to that story when you're talking about Seabird. it may be something inside the city of Cisco that we work on. It may be something inside the city of Ranger that you work on, because although they're applying for it, we're going to have to step up too and help the cities do what they need to get done. Plus, it's just beneficial for us because we're using the machinery. Machinery has to be used. It cannot sit idle. Here again, the five of us sitting here need to understand that if that machinery becomes idle, they're going to either come take it, or we're going to have, as commissioners, say, hey, listen, either use it or I'm going to come get it. Because if not, they're going to come pick the stuff up.
Yeah, what do you mean setting idle for how long? I mean,
well,
the hours we've already.
Yeah, I don't know, James. They have not. They just said the machinery has to be used. Now, nobody has said what that is.
25%?
Yeah, nobody has said what that is. That number, I asked that number since it was on the example, and they said that's a made up number. Nobody actually knows until the grants are actually out and the procedures put out.
Robert, going back to the wildlife manager and wildlife specialist, wildfire.
Yeah.
I always say wildlife. I'm sorry. Those salaries are set by the court. Is that correct?
They're going to be set by the court, but they're going to be put into the grant. So
yeah,
they're almost, and that's the reason why they did the manager at a department head salary and the specialist at a foreman salary. That's the two salaries I had available that I was looking at. So that's where they put the salaries.
I guess my question is what happens if you can't find somebody for that? Do we have to then go back and reconsider the?
I don't know that. I don't know that aspect is going to be out there until somebody says, "Hey, I can't hire somebody. What do I do now?"
Yeah.
So after the 5 years, what do we do? Let it go?
Yeah, it's a 5-year program. I mean, it's Darwin and I talked about that same issue is, are you putting somebody out of work in 5 years? But it needs to be known that it's a 5-year program. That after 5 years, it's done.
Yeah. Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be done, but I mean, when I say potentially, there's a potential that maybe that position could roll over into another position or something.
Yeah.
That we could continue their employment. But
right.
But I agree with you. I think up front you need to say
they need
positively. We got 5 years for you.
Yeah.
We'll try to work in after the fact, but our only guarantee for you is for 5 years.
Yeah. So I just want to get, everything that I know that I've had the conversations with in the last week out there on the table, so that everybody understands why everything's getting done like it is to the best of what I can understand. Is it's on a point system, and you follow this A, B, C, D points. We get 40 right off the top because we're low income, high risk county. So there's 40 points right off the top. So we're competing for the other 60 points to get the grant. In the past, it's 80.5, I think, is the lowest grant that's got any funding at all. So that's the reason why it's so important that we commit to the use of the equipment, the hiring of the personnel, and that kind of stuff.
Because it bumps our score.
It bumps our score up.
Do you know what you're gonna get in or won't?
Yeah, he's turned his in. You got a copy of it?
No, I thought you said he did get it.
No, yeah, I said I got it today.
Oh, okay, sure. Didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Now
Just send me a copy.
This is new equipment
Yes.
that will be furnished through the grant.
Yes.
So after the 5 years, you've got this equipment. What happens to it?
You still own the equipment. That's what the interesting aspect of this grant is you have to use the equipment and document and turn in paperwork for the equipment annually until that equipment devalues to less than $5,000. That's what we're talking about. How old does a tractor have to be
Yeah.
before it's less than $5,000? Pretty old. Yeah.
You're going to have to. I think what Robert's saying is that you're going to have to, even though it's a 5-year grant, you're going to have to continue to do wildfire mitigation.
Yes.
Because that's what the equipment's bought for. So even when the grant ends at 5 years, you're still going to have that thing on the road doing some kind of wildfire mitigation. And it's, of course, you guys know your county roads better than I do, but it's almost like, eradicating mesquite. By the time you get to the end of the line,
It's grown.
it's time to start back over again because it's already grown up behind you. So,
And that will apply,
Yes.
given the same
Yes.
Yeah.
vegetation.
Yeah, as long as it's been used for that, you're good.
the other aspect is that there's also the ability to do herbicide treatments twice during that 5-year period, twice for a particular stretch.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that you can.
I don't think that's written in our grant, and part of that is because I have a hard time with it. I don't mind if we hire somebody to do it, but there is a tremendous amount of liability involved if you start spraying herbicide.
You kill someone else's trees. I think we've been down that road before.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
Let's stick to.
Yeah, there is the liability on the herbicide part of it. I think is just too much to deal with on there. It's going to be a learning process because of the fact that it's not cut and dried and everything laid out in front of you like some of them are. But like I say, I had everything but Andy's put on the submission deal, and he gave it to me this morning, so I'll get it done when I get back, and I'll send it on to Langford and them for them to do he's working on. He's wrote the grant. He's just waiting on everything else.
You want a copy in the minutes?
In our office, like I said, we'll do whatever we can to help you guys, but the information is still going to generate from the commissioners.
Yeah. The reporting part. The other side that you need to be aware of too is when they say clear, they mean clear. No trees at all left in the right of ways. They want everything cut back to ground level, removed or mulched to eliminate the fuel.
Well, and talking to Robert, he was kind of explaining that right-of-way clearing deal. We're a whole lot better off getting all that stuff out because then all you got to do is go back and mow it.
Yeah.
As opposed to continually fighting that brush that's growing up in those right-of-ways and stuff. And I'd asked Robert, I said, well, what do you got in your right-of-ways? He said, well, I got trees this big around in my right-of-ways that need to be gone.
Yeah.
Because they I mean, honestly, I love trees and I think they're pretty, but they're also a fuel source. And we've already seen, I mean, if we had not experienced 2 devastating wildfires, I'd say, man, we need to save the trees, but they're a fuel source and they're nothing but just another catalyst to jump the road.
All of us have been out there in those deals too, that they create a funnel like you have never been to if you've never been to one of those fires on one of them roads if you've got tall trees on both sides.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable the heat that they generate as that comes through.
And then you're stuck with clearing it anyway.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other side with herbicide that I have a problem with. If you go down there and spray it and you kill it, guess what? You just got a dead tree. I mean, you still got to remove it,
Manchester County Electric are going around right now spraying some of our ditches.
Yeah, and they let them fall and on the fences and everywhere else because they've done it already once.
Yeah, they're doing it a lot now.
Yeah, because you get phone calls of them across the roads and everything because they just kill them and don't do anything with them.
So we'd actually have to clean out the fence line?
Email them to me because it says.
No, just to the
Just
fence
to the
line.
field.
Yeah, to the field. Now,
Unless it's a designated area,
if it's,
correct?
well, I mean, potentially that wildfire specialist would come in and say, yeah, on this county road, you're fine cutting it to the fence line, but then at this particular area here, because there's infrastructure, we need to see about doing a right of entry to expand that another 30 feet.
Where I see you having situation is the lake, because the population density plays a role in this. Okay, so if there's one house out there, and I don't mean this mean, but there's one house out there, they're going to take less focus on that one house than they are on a road that's got 10 houses on it, at the lake. So when they're out there driving around the lake, and I know most of those are not bad out that way, that's where they're going to focus on situations like that. And then the main I foresee for us out there is the water district stuff.
Yeah.
Because the westbound's got stuff like right down from Ronnie's house and places. I can foresee that those will be deals that's scattered throughout the county on their facilities that they're going to try to clear back from. All I can do is throw it out there and tell you what I've figured out, kind of. And Darwin may have more information on it. I'll throw you under the bus.
I think that the information you presented today is consistent with what we've discussed with the potential grant administration for that. My understanding is the same as Commissioner Raines as far as the requirements for reporting, for usage of machinery. They have not laid out for any of us a time potential, quantity of hours the equipment needs to work or anything like that. I think we'll get that as they become more defined in the process and if we're awarded on those things. So I would say that he's giving you as much information as any of us have. So we'll be discussing with my council this evening kind of the same process y'all are discussing today, other than the city of Cisco, city of Ranger, city of Eastland, the city of Carbon are coming together on the implementation portion of the
Carbon,
grant.
not Gorman.
It's
That's
Carbon.
what I said, and then you told me, no, it's Gorman.
Oh, I thought it was Gorman.
It's Carbon. For the equipment portion of it, of course we're for the planning portion of it, we're in with the county on that. So two different functions. We have to get the plan, get it approved, and then we'll be eligible for the implementation portion of the grants.
Darwin, can you say what you guys are thinking about using that money for?
What money?
What are you going to ask
the-
for?
Yeah, what are you asking for?
As far as equipment?
Yeah.
Each of the entities is applying for a pickup truck and a haul trailer for a skid steer that has a mulcher on the front, and then also a box trailer that would house chainsaws and other appurtenances like that. And additionally, I know that you guys had talked about the side boom shredder, and as an individual entity, they didn't feel like we had enough right-of-way miles to justify that to this grant. Mm-hmm. So the four entities are applying on the implementation side together as a grant, and hopefully we can get another one of those side boom shredders as well. So that's where we intend to go with the request for funding for implementation.
Well, the interesting deal on the ones that I sent y'all the video of, and Darwin's seen it also, is that the front end has a box skid steer attachment deal on it. So anything that'll fit that skid steer will run on the front of that machine. So a broom or a blower or something for like cities that have paved streets to blow the stuff off of it comes in handy in that type of situation. I do know that Tyler with Langford has already reached out with the area rep for Mower Max and got more information on the machinery, on the heads, and all of that from them that I'd already sent him with the quotes that I forwarded all y'all.
So on the mulching, is that gonna be something that you guys can take to your yard and let individuals get it, or?
It's mostly on the side,
Okay,
because basically what you're doing is you're chewing everything right where it sets.
Okay.
And throwing it on the ground. You're just making small pieces out of it.
It's like a chipper.
Yeah, it's like a chipper on.
so you're just gonna leave it on the side of the road?
Yeah.
I mean, it's grinding it up, but it's like you're throwing stuff in a chipper. It's
Yeah.
spewing out
Yeah,
wood fragments.
leave it on the side of the road.
Yeah. It works as a erosion prevention type
Well, I
of
see that,
situation.
yes.
Also. Because that was one thing we talked about, is another reason why we don't want to use herbicide. We have enough problem with our ditches washing away. You kill every piece of blade of grass inside of it, I promise you'll have more of a problem. It's the only reason why I don't dislike Johnson grass, because it'll grow anywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, that's the information in a nutshell.
Thank you, Robert. Thanks for doing that. Any questions from the commissioners on this deal? So I need a motion to consider approving the list of equipment, supplies, and services on our application. Motion by Mr. Maxwell, second by Mr. Crenshaw. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. K, discuss and consider the exemption from required inscription on automobiles used by the criminal district attorney's office as allowed in transportation code.
I would have done it if Paul would have been here, but since the other guy showed up, I'm not so sure.
Send that ambulance contact with you.
Was there any input from the DA on that, or?
Can I send you the original ambulance contract with you?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's,
I'll make the move.
I think that's a good motion. Motion by Mr. Raines, second by Mr. Crenshaw. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign.
We're gonna go.
Is that something we have to do every year, or is that just something that,
It's the first time I've ever done it.
yeah, I would think one and done.
Did you vote, Judge, since Wilson bill?
Yes, sorry. L, discuss and consider the cooperative ambulance service contract, Ms. Gento.
Yes, we have finally gotten this back from the hospital district. They did vote on theirs, I think it was last week, Mr. Joe Wright said. So we just need approval of it. The judge has reviewed it. Our contribution is $120,000, which is budgeted. Judge and I confirmed that.
Yeah. Motion by Mr. Raines, second by Mr. Maxwell. All those in favor say aye. I vote aye. Discuss and consider road crossing agreement on blah, 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 blah. Between Eastland County and the Grand Prix Pipeline LLC.
Okay, can we put your signature, Judge? Could you send me a fully executed? Yes. It'll be probably.
There will be another one of them pipeline agreements coming in. This is not the guy I talked to. Yeah.
Can you give me 5 seconds to get Brad's
Has
signature?
anybody talked to this?
You what?
I don't
Give me
know.
5 seconds to get Brad's signature.
Sure.
I don't recognize
One
this.
Mississippi, two Mississippi.
There's one coming in from Onyx. Also.
If I remember right, you said somebody sent him.
Well, how many? Oh,
But I don't know who that was. So.
well, the guy that called me that I thought I talked to, he had talked to you and got my phone number from you.
I don't know. I don't know if this guy called and I gave him the number of one of y'all or what.
But this could have been him, because there is another pipeline coming through also.
That's like 20.
I have all the original stuff he sent to with each road on its own one if you'll need any of that.
This is a pipeline that it's the one that runs all the way down there to the gas plant at Desmond.
Okay. 4 crossings, right?
4 precincts.
So we got 4
Four
different
precincts.
crossings.
We've got 4 precincts and a jillion county roads.
And what did you say those roads were?
Or didn't it?
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, yada, yada, yada is that what they say in the commercial?
Ad infinitum.
Okay.
Any discussion from the commissioners about the road crossing agreements or any questions? I would accept a motion to approve road crossing agreements.
I'll make it.
Second.
My motion by Mr. Raines, second by Mr. Maxwell. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. We got all of these.
Sure, yeah.
Any emergency amendments?
No, sir.
You would think they could at least get the right Dagon County judge on there.
Well, you would think they'd get the updated crossing too.
You are. Yeah.
Yeah, they were lingering. Oops. They were lingering getting that into Shelby.
The other one's gonna have an interesting time because they're gonna be out there where the wind turbines are at that time. So they're gonna be laying a 24-inch loop, 12 miles long around where they're working. See if the two runs over what, that's what I'm saying.
They run over each other.
Yeah.
Darwin, is there anything we can do for you or on all this stuff?
I think when it comes down to the nitty gritty on it, that we'll be able to get together and do projects like the college and that benefit both of us time wise for machinery use too.
Absolutely.
Because those will be very simple and well received projects that won't have any, they just get her done.
Need to start, how soon do we need that wildfire manager and specialist?
We won't do any of that until the grant's approved,
You know,
until we get back with the final numbers on the grant.
might not hurt to keep an eye out though for somebody that can fit that criteria. Anything further for the court?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Did you do in?
Yeah.
That's
He asked while he was signing stuff.
okay.
Right. You made a motion?
I made a motion.
Motion by Mr. Raines, second by Mr. Wilson. All those in favor say, you betcha.
You betcha.
Motion carries. We're adjourned.